to Underground Superstar, the entertainment platform where new and emerging artists come to transform their careers. I'm your host, Cheyenne Washington, and today we are spotlighting some incredible artists. So let's get into it. Who are we here with today?
You're here with 4Diesel.
4Diesel. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that name.
Thank you.
Okay, and what city and state are you representing today?
I would say I'm representing both Baltimore, Maryland, and also San Diego, California, because they both influenced me a lot musically, personally, sonically. So I would say both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, East Coast. I'm from the East Coast too.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're from Connecticut, you said?
I am. I'm from Connecticut.
Okay.
Yes,
Nice. That's
DMV.
dope.
I've been down there a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you said you're from the East Coast. You also kind of represent San Diego.
Mhm.
So what would you say your sound is? Because I know that East Coast and West Coast sounds, that's two different sounds. So what would you say? Where do you fall in?
I would say, like, without putting myself into a box, I would say I'm very, like, influenced by the more trappy, like, super bassy 808 type of stuff that is like Baltimore rap that I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
But I would also say, like, I feel like super influenced by smooth like melodies and stuff like that. And that's come from different stuff in my life, but I do also feel like San Diego has more of that vibe, you know. And there's this artist called Larry June. He's a rapper from San Francisco, and I feel like I'm very influenced by him.
Mm-hmm.
He has my same birthday, which is like synchronous, I feel like, but he also went back between Atlanta and San Francisco. So I feel like Atlanta and Baltimore are very similar, and I feel like with two California cities, San Diego and San Francisco would be more similar than LA and one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed that parallel, and I feel like that's my story, you know, is the roughness of Baltimore with the smoothness of California and San Diego and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So growing up in Baltimore, right? Is that where you started making music? Have you been making music for a long time? What's your journey been like?
So I didn't really start making music till I came out to California.
Mm-hmm.
I started producing, and then I realized that at first I thought I wanted to be a DJ, but I realized that wasn't where my true voice was. And I started freestyling a lot, and I just realized that I wanted to focus on my voice and sonically and timbers and inflections of my voice. So I realized that I wanted to be a rapper. I realized that I wanted to sing, and that was definitely influenced by a lot of singers that I heard. My mom, she was an opera singer, so
Wow.
it's always been like those melodies and those classic like chord progressions and everything else. I feel like those have always been super influential on me,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that has influenced my love for melodies and using my voice and using like just my vocal cords. But yeah, that's what I
Wow.
would say.
That's awesome. Okay, you said your mom's an opera singer.
Yeah.
That's a very niche type of singing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Wow.
So she was in this opera. It's called Carmen. Like she was in there when I was in her belly when she was pregnant with me,
Oh.
and I feel like stuff like that. Like of course we're not conscious of ourselves yet, but I think that influences our brain too. You know, it's like the fact that my little brain was right there and
Yeah.
I was on stage, and with these huge, you know, she has a crazy voice. Like it's crazy, and she was not even the main person every time. But it's just the vocal range they have and the notes they can hit are just so crazy, and I feel like that's influenced me a lot. And then I grew up also with my grandma always playing classical music, so in the house. So I feel like that influenced me a lot too.
I love that.
Definitely.
Wow,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay,
you.
amazing. So I was looking at some of your content on
Mhm.
Instagram, right? And I noticed that a lot of your content is very like chill, laid back. You in your room just kind of spit into a beat.
Yeah.
So would you say you're naturally more of a freestyler, or would you say you do like to sit down and kind of write your lyrics?
You know, I would say freestyling has really built my muscle a lot. I would say with rhyming, with finding melodies and everything else. But now I've been focusing more on writing songs. I've been focusing on writing hooks. I've been focusing on just trying to create ideas from that space rather than just going with the moment, which I still love doing. And sometimes I get ideas from that too about songs. But now I'm trying to write more songs and have more hooks and have more that people can sing along to, you know. And it definitely is a different like nerve that it hits when
Yeah.
somebody hears it, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay, so going from freestyling to writing a song, because freestyling, you can have a 10-minute freestyle.
right.
So when you're writing a song, how do you know when your song is finished?
I feel like I'm still working on that, but I feel like it's really easy for me to be a perfectionist too. So I think that it's when I feel like there's nothing more to be said, you know. And I feel like if I add something else, it's gonna take away from what I have,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And I don't want the message to be muddy, you know. And when I hear a good song, it's a clear story, it's a clear feeling. So I just try to embody that as much as I can.
I love that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about knowing when to stop.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What does being an underground superstar mean to you?
I would say like knowing your capabilities, believing in yourself, and realizing that, you know, if you're picturing yourself doing these huge stadiums or doing these huge shows that you see artists that you like doing, and you know that you can do that, then just working on that and bringing that out of yourself, you know. If you feel it in your brain, it's like there's a reason for that.
I love that. I love that. And last question for you. We know that it's a journey being an artist, that, it's more of a marathon than it is a race. So,
Yeah.
where do you see your music and your brand going in the next 5 years?
I would say collabing more with people. I would say getting more serious about rollouts. I have like some EPs that I'm working on and stuff like that, but I want to release my first album, like my first studio album for sure too, in that time, if not sooner. But I feel like I love albums that are whole ideas, you know, and every song like continually flows sonically from the next, and I love listening for that in albums too, and I feel like that is something that takes a real artist to do, you know. Everyone is an artist in their own right, but I think that when you're releasing albums like that, it's a body of work, you know, and people nowadays with content and with social media, sometimes they only hear one song that they like, but I think that there still is a audience for releasing bodies of work and releasing albums, releasing studio albums, and having people listen to the whole album, you know. So that's where I feel like I want to live, and I do want to do singles, I want to do EPs, I want to do collaborations, I want to do all that, but I feel like seeing those artists like do that, it has influenced me a lot. So I want to bring that out to the world in my own way too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, For Diesel, thank you so much. It has been a
Yeah.
pleasure. Please tell the people where they can find you on all social media so we can get in tune with all of your projects.
Yeah. So my Instagram is 4Diesel, number 4, and then the word diesel. And then TikTok is 4Diesel4, and Twitter is 4Diesel444.
Okay, 444. You hear that? Angel number.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, For Diesel. It's been
Yeah,
such a pleasure.
thank you so much.
Thank you. And I wish
Yeah.
you all the best with your journey.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.